Shalom. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone. I got a clip I want to show. Before I do, I want to get a precept. Out of Psalms, chapter 64. We're going to jump down to verse 8. Oh, no, you know what? Beautiful. Matter of fact, we might as well start from the beginning. Yeah, Salakia. I'm going to start from verse 1. Put the Bible to the side. Psalm 64, verse 1. Deliverance from a prayer for deliverance from secret enemies. Right. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right. Esau, Edom, their higher ups. All right. Those that control the economy, those that control your money, those that control your taxes, those that control your living arrangements, those that control your resources, the banking families of the world. Right. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like swords and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at them and fear not. So this is the higher ups that's constantly coming up with ways to discourage, deceive, delete, right, the children of Israel, who are the perfect. Right? They come up with unrighteous decrees, laws, and living conditions for the children of Israel. Verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Let's see what privily means. Privily means in a secret or hidden manner. All right. Privily. It's pronounced privily. They say, who shall see them? Right? Because behind the board, they try to make everything behind the scenes. They try to make everything. They write laws into effect that they know is that Jacob is pushing to a corner to break some of these laws. So they create laws into where they be able to trap Jacob. And they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, so they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all the men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Lord, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. All right? The elect of Israel is going to be, we Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We should be happy of the times that we are entering into. The Lord is making this devil's tongue to fall upon himself for a reason. It's actually to condemn himself, right? And for the whole world to see why the Lord is going to have to bring down the hammer, how he's going to bring down the hammer on Esau, Edom. Again, so they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Listen to this.
aren't talking about. Very simple. So they vote for a bill that is horrible for the people of the United States. So let me begin with that. What's the problem here that others aren't talking about? Very simple. The single most important problem of the American economy that everyone really knows is the fact that we are now one of the most unequal economies in the world. At the end of World War II, the United States was remarkable because it was less unequal than, for example, countries in Western Europe. Now we are more unequal than the countries in Western Europe. We have really raced to the fore to be as unequal as we possibly could. Over the last 40 years, to be crystal clear, we have had a redistribution of wealth in the United States. Not the one that Republicans and Democrats worry we might have and have to avoid. No, I'm not talking about that fantastic one which never happened. I'm talking about the real one that happened that we don't discuss, although we should, which is a redistribution upward, taking from the bottom, taking from the middle, and giving it to the richest people among us. Let me give you the statistics today, how unequal we are, and then go back and show you how and why the big, beautiful bill is really ugly.
Okay, before he grabbed this, when you understand how the Lord created people and how he knows us all, inside and out, how the Lord created Esau, Edom, especially the higher ups in this point in time, the Lord told you how the wicked envious his own bread, how he's a niggard at his own table. When it comes to sharing resources, when it comes to sharing, when it comes to being equal in any facet of the word equal or equality, this man looks at the world as if, as long as he's on the top, everybody else is how can I say it? Everybody else is going to accept him for whatever scraps that they give us. Whatever scraps that they give us, everybody else should just take it and accept it because it's better than nothing. Until he finds a way to totally control everything, which he's trying to find out, and he's not going to accomplish at the end of the day. Right? But Esau, Edom, the wicked, is known as a niggard, which means he's selfish, right? He's ignorant, and he's not going to share. He's not a man of equitable use. All right, that's why Trump came up with this big beautiful bill situation. Like he did. Well, he's going to mention it. He's going to mention it. Richard Wolff. He's going to tell you how the first time when Trump was elected, how he had created a tax cut for all those that was rich. Why not put this man back in office? Right? Well, I'm gonna let y'all hear what he got to say. Let's get it.
All right, I'm going to start with the bottom half of the American people. The bottom half. We are a country of 330 million, so I am talking about 165 million Americans, half our people. Together, the bottom half have today 2.5% of the wealth in this country. That's what they own. 50% of the people have to get along by sharing 2.5% of the wealth. Try to get your head around that, and you will understand what it means when people tell you that half of Americans are poor, because that's the truth. Not the make-believe, not the fakery, the truth.
Right.
Now let's take the next 40% of the people. They're richer, they have more than the bottom half, but less than the top 10%. So we've talked about the bottom half, 50%. Now the next 40%, what you might call the middle of the United States. How much wealth do the middle of the United States enjoy? 30%. Notice, less than their share of the population. If the bottom half get only 2.5%, and the middle, so we're now talking about the 90% of our people out of 330 million, they get 30%. That leaves the remaining amount. 2/3 of the income of this country is in the hands of the top 10% of our people. That is extremely unequal.
And now, okay, that's spread amongst Esau Edom, the elected Esau Edom, right? And those that fit Esau Edom's agenda. All the other heathen nations and majority of the children of Israel, right? That claim this so-called rich status, these get-rich-quick schemes that they come up with, those that sign contracts to Esau Edom, in which at the end they're never going to be able to, they're not really able to use that money to create resources for themselves or their family or their neighborhood or their people. All right. And most of the things that our people get, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that they receive from Esau Edom, is bent on credit, loans, credit. It is built on something where they're a part of a system where they actually don't have any control over whatever income they receive. They're just poster boys and girls for for or I'll say they're like mannequins. They show off what the higher ups are presenting, right? Like a mannequin. A mannequin doesn't own the clothes, the jewelries, the house, the homes they live in, or they're stationed in, or the cars they're stationed in, except for, well, not even the crash outs. You got a lot of crash out dummies too out here, right? But they not even necessarily represent. They just show, or they floss, right? They floss the riches of the higher ups. But those things, at the end of the day, they don't belong to these superstars, these entertainers, of Israel, of the northern and southern kingdom of Israel. They don't own none of those things. All of those things are rented on credit. All right. So this is where most of the riches are going, and it's going into the pockets of the banker families, the higher ups, the ones that got everything organized to fit their needs, their social system of dependency, or at least making everyone else dependent is what I mean. Let's go.
You could never dream of a democracy, one person, one vote, if you take 90% of the people and tell them you live on 1/3 of the income we all together produce.
Right.
And we give the top 10% the other 2/3. That will make the 10% rich, and the rest of us spectators as to how rich they are. Now, please keep that in your mind when I tell you that the only significant economic act that was passed by and through President Trump's first presidential term was the tax cut of 2017, passed in December of that year. It gave an enormous tax cut to corporations and the rich, precisely the people who needed it least, precisely the people who had enjoyed a rising share of the wealth of this country being redistributed to them out of our hands, out of our wealth. They didn't need it, but Mr. Trump gave it to them anyway. And that's the secret to why we have a second Mr. Trump presidency, because they were so happy with what he did for them in December of 2017 that they brought him back for another term, and he just delivered the same tax cut to them again. He extended the one from 2017, and he added a bunch of extra goodies for them.
Right.
He will, by this bill, which is admitted by the Republicans, those who have half a brain at all, even they understand it, this will make inequality worse, just like his first tax cut for them did. Because we need to go back to really make America great again, would mean to make it as less unequal as it once was, not more unequal as it now is. But Mr. Trump won't tell you that, because he's, as you might have noticed, among the people at the top. And he's loyal to them, not to you necessarily, you who voted him in, but to the people who put him in, and that's different. We are making our society a society of extreme inequality. And history teaches us, if it teaches us anything, that in the long run, as masses of people understand the inequality imposed on them and what it costs them in careers they can't have, in jobs they can't get, in income they can't enjoy, in promotions denied to them, as it becomes clear that that's what an unequal society produces, they will not tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad news comes. As the people at the top realize that the long-term payoff to taking more than a fair share is you lose it all. It's happened over and over again. And to those who think it can't happen here, watch. It is happening here. It's
Yeah. With that, let's go here. Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Lament for Babylon. Lament for America. Right? 'Cause this is Babylon. This is spiritual Babylon. Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, or the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. The Lord is coming back to destroy his bastard. You know? The point is, this place is about to be met with its shame is about to be seen. What's that in Habakkuk? Let me see if I can get that right quick. Habakkuk, chapter 2. Shameful spewing. Right here. Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drink drunken also, that thou may look upon their nakedness. right? So now America's being stripped naked, right? Because y'all gave every nation, y'all made all the nations drunk after the wine of Babylon to pretend to believe that this country was righteous, that it was upstanding, that it had everyone's best interest in hand. But now the whole world see that your skirt is being lifted, that you've been a lie this whole time, from who you are, how you operate, and what you really stand for, as far as your dumb mockery. All right, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So while you're in the midst of the little glory that you're trying to get through Trump, in this last moment of recognition toward your big, beautiful bill, the Lord knows good justice and judgment. Con. I got to check it out. Oh, yeah, that was a beautiful lesson that I did on, damn. It escapes me right now, man. I got to go back over it, though. Shit, man. I'll think about it later. Let me get this lesson out. All right, your everything that you've done that you had taken glory for, now it's becoming shameful to you, Esau, Edom, America. Now it's time to sit down in the dust. All right, let me get back to that. I just had another. Let me get it. Let's go ahead to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51. I'm gonna start at verse 8. No, even better. Verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? Being drunk, right? A golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, right? The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. The nations about to be mad. They about to come down with great wrath upon this bitch, man. Right? Babylon, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her. If so, be she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone unto his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord have brought forth our righteousness, and come and let us. The Lord have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, our power, like we just read in Psalm chapter 64, verse 10, that the righteous is going to be okay. The righteous is going to rejoice, right? The righteous is going to be rejoice. Remember, read Psalm 64 and 10. Again, verse 10. That's beautiful, right? Jeremiah 51 and verse 10. The Lord have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, our power. All right. Make bright the arrows. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hold off on that. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that. Let's get the rest of what Buddy got to say. Not brother, but Buddy got to say, and then we'll get the rest of that.
It's not sustainable what we are doing in this country. The people at the top, the millionaires who dominate in the Senate and the House, are simply feathering their own nest, imagining it'll never come back to haunt them, imagining they can just go on and on. And they have been doing it for a long time. I'll give them that. But they're running out.
Shalom.
They can't anymore. It's too extreme.
Brother Nahalia.
We are watching what happens when that crucial moment is arrived at. The Democratic Party is so corrupted by its donors that it offers no significant opposition. In France, twice in recent years, the government tried to do the kind of step towards inequality we're doing here. And both times the French people did the same thing. Out into the streets they went. Their left-wing political parties, their progressive parties, their anti-capitalist party led them into the street and said, this country will not go to that level of inequality. And let me remind you, for those who may not know, in France, the law is once you graduate from high school or college and you take a job, the law requires your employer to give you 5 weeks of fully paid vacation every year. You get that? The next time you hear an American politician say, we're the greatest country, remember what I just told you.
I bullshit you not, man. I've been busting my ass at this place. Even before this place, man, I've been busting my ass over 8 years with no fucking vacation. Well, as a matter of fact, no, before I took this job, I took a little, I can't even say it was a week, a few days vacation. All right? Before I even got this job, this so-called job, this place. All right? These people get 7, they said 7 weeks or days, let me see that, of paid vacation.
Vacation every year. The law requires your employer to give you 5 weeks of fully paid vacation every year.
That's so you don't get burnt out. That's so you don't get burnt out, man. You know, cause right now, man, I don't reach my peak. My peak, man. And people be having PTOs and everything like that. And then to have a woman, man, excuse me for keep on bringing this motherfucker into these lessons, but to have a woman that don't respect that, man, that shit, man, I'm tired as fuck, bitch. I'm fucking extremely exhausted. Vacations and all this shit, all y'all motherfuckers go on, man, I ain't seen not one. I'm ran raggedy in this bitch. And you can't be a pillar of rest to me. You can't give me, you know, what the fuck? Hey, man, shit, we gotta get up out of here, Lord willing, man. Sooner than later, cause shit, this shit is bullshit, man. I'm in the wrong fucking country. I need to go to France in this motherfucker and get a job, cause these bitches out here, boy, I bullshit you not. But I don't know if if I am or the elect, if I'm gonna get rescued from over there, or if I'm gonna be in a chariot. I'll take my chances here, and keep doing the work, unless the Lord has other ideas or other plans for a brother. It's lucky, y'all. I'm about to finish. Let this thing finish off and get up out of here.
Here. You get that? The next time you hear an American politician say, we're the greatest country, remember what I just told you. Likewise in France, and there are other countries like it. I just know France well, so I'm picking my example. You're covered with health insurance from the day you are born to the day you die. Anything that happens to you, the government covers the cost of your medical care. It's a right you have as a citizen. Doesn't depend on whether you have a job or what job you have or what your employer is or isn't willing to give you as medical coverage. None of that. It's your right, and you get it as a matter of right.
And that's the thing. We don't fucking get rights here. Whether you say this is not a country, America is simply a piece of land that's been turned into a corporation. This is not a country. You can't even call it a sovereign country. It hasn't been touched yet. As far as like any of the other global nations haven't touched this land. But it's a reason for it, because this is a corporation, and first and foremost, the bankers, those that the 10%, that control everything, that control 2/3 of your economical wealth and resources here in America, that you all work for, that the 90% only enjoy 1/3 of. Shit, man. They don't want to destroy this place as of yet. or they're trying their best to keep it from being destroyed because this is their fucking major cash cow. But the other nations are getting sick of this shit. The other nations are getting sick of this shit, and they about to, things about the prophecies about to be fulfilled. Let's go.
I'm a college teacher. In France, colleges are free. That's right, no tuition, no fees. You pay your room and board, but you are not required to pay. So you don't build up a big load of debt to get through school. That's all burdensome because we're not allowing that. We want a society in which the rich pay a big share of their wealth to have a decent society and not one that's falling apart because they want to keep the lion's share, as I've just told you, of the society's wealth. The rest of us, we're supposed to produce the wealth in the factories, the offices, and the stores where we live. But we don't get the wealth we produce. We, the people, get 1/3. And the 10% at the top, the boards of directors of the corporations, those people, they take 2/3. We should have the courage and the determination for ourselves, for our brothers and sisters, and for our children, not to let the growing inequality proposed by Mr. Trump, now rammed true by Mr. Trump, simply to continue. It is taking us in a direction none of us will want to see the last steps of.
And what's that? Enter Jacob's trouble. Hey man, I'm gonna leave it right there, man. I wanted to go into Jeremiah 51, starting at verse 11, and then jumping to 24 to 29. Where it talks about the rich nations, but I'm gonna let it dwell right there. Enter Jacob's trouble. Enter Jacob's trouble. He said the last steps that we do not want to go into, which is going to be a time like no other time on the earth. Period. Brothers invading one another, the Egyptian against the Egyptian, so on and so forth. But the righteous are going to be rejoicing in this time. All right. With that, I hope this lesson is edifying to the elect. Endure. Adon Ratazah, endure. Let's give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Rachak Kodash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone. Again, to the hopeful elect, peace and salutations. Till next time, Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abba Babal.